Doesn't seem that long ago that everyone was talking about Hillary Clinton using her personal email, or that Google rebranded itself as Alphabet, and PayPal and eBay split into separate operating companies. And Supreme Court affirmed same-sex marriage, and believe it or not, signed the world's first accord on climate change. Not much has changed since then, has it? And then lastly, Isabella Rabalka of the Healthcare Services Corporation presented new employee and executive onboarding at the 2015 ELE Chicagoland Summit. So what we'd like for you to do is we're going to do some annotation here. And these were the common mistakes. I know metrics and was a common theme, as well as management engagement. What we'd like for you to do is, if you think your organization has solved these common mistakes, put a check mark in the solved column. For those that have not been solved, put a check mark in the not solved. So lack of management buy-in, looks like it's still about 50-50. We're going to have some small group discussion. And based on this last activity, we've created some breakout rooms. And what we'd like for you to do is have some of your discussions around solution-based future focus. What can we do now? Let's start with the group that did metrics. What solutions did you guys identify?
So I work for Allstate Insurance, and we talked about the importance, it kind of bringing in a couple different points about having sort of a concierge or somebody to shepherd new folks through all the different programs that are available, from the L&D side of the house, like taking inclusive diversity and equity courses, to what type of recognition programs are available, to how to put in a time card, just everything from all those little things that need to be buttoned up, just making sure that somebody's there to check off that they're aware of it, they know how to do it, that type of thing. Also, as people complete gates or milestones, such as completing a certain series of learning, at our company, they can cash in points to earn swag. It could be a squeezy ball with a logo on it, to a sweatshirt, to something for your desk.
All right. How about the engagement group? That was probably one of the largest.
Some of the things that Jeff just talked about, we talked about in the group. I think a great idea, or it's actually already a practice at one of the organizations, Uline. I don't want to speak for anyone, but they do a specific onboarding for managers. So you're an employee, but you're also a manager. That helps set the expectation from the beginning of what managers will be responsible to do as they get in their roles, and then have new hires on their teams. Reminding managers at the talent acquisition step, we would call that an intake meeting, right? So when you have an open job, when you're meeting with the manager, to say, hey, you have this open job, and by the way, once we fill it, here's what's going to happen, and here's the expectation for you. And then giving them that plan laid out. I think the best example was over the course of a year. What can a new employee expect, and what's the manager's job in that? What's the employee's job in that? And feeding them prompts of how do you have these conversations, feeding the managers prompts of how do you have these conversations.
A lot of great ideas. So what are some tools, tactics, and resources that you are using in a remote, virtual, hybrid onboarding experience?
One of the things that we're doing, I can't say we've done, we're doing it with a new trainee class coming in. We have the benefit of them all starting on the same day. So we actually do have a cohort, but we are sending them a virtual classroom toolkit. Right. So somebody mentioned a toolkit, but what's inside of it is everything that you might even have in an actual virtual learning environment. So table toys, bag of candy, here's some things, here's some of the CNA swag. We're also sending them some paper material that you might have actually handed out in an actual classroom so that they can get to it.